Good evening and welcome to the Cardinal Way for Men Live. My name is Ed Cardinal. Tonight I want to discuss the topic of visualization and imagination. Very powerful tools that we have at our disposal. Yet I can remember when I was a kid daydreaming, particularly in school daydreaming, and using our imagination wasn't encouraged. It was seen as lazy, not paying attention. I invite you to come back to those days when you daydreamed and use your imagination. And you're going to know why after this live, because I'm going to talk about the great benefits of visualization and using your imagination. So visualization is using the imagination to create these mental pictures. Now, I'm going to read this quote from Muhammad Ali. He said, "If my mind can conceive it and my heart can believe it, then I can achieve it." It's also important to have the belief of, so when we want to achieve something, we create that mental image. Let's say, for instance, someone wants to lose a certain amount of weight. You can visualize yourself at that weight and bring the feeling into it. Feel what it would feel like to have a body at that weight. And believe, so that belief part comes in, believe that you can achieve it. I've read stories about patients with cancer who visualized an army attacking the cancer cells and have healed themselves doing so. So again, don't underestimate the power of our imagination. Imagination, and I'll just read this definition. Imagination is the ability to build mental scenes, objects, or events that do not exist or are not present or have happened in the past. I'm going to tell you 3 ways recently that I've used visualization in my imagination. And I shared about this in one of my recent reels. My puppy Angel had a blockage in his small intestines. He had to spend the night in the hospital. What they did is they hyperhydrated him to see if that would remove it. When I got home that night, I visualized a river flowing, and at such force and such volume that it removed the blockage from the river, just like I wanted that blockage to be removed from Angel's small intestine. In the morning, he was able to eat. He was not vomiting. And the x-ray showed that the blockage did indeed move. I can't say for sure that my visualization didn't work. I'm sure the hydration helped, but also I believe that the visualization that I was using was helping. The second instant recently that I used visualization was with Jude's niece, Chris, who I also shared about. She had cancer, and Tuesday evening she transitioned. What I envisioned and visualized and used my imagination as a mental picture, what I visualized was this beam of white light coming down over her. And I envisioned myself bringing her up to meet her father, and her father was there to greet her. So I was passing her off to her father, making sure she had safe passage to the other side. Again, I don't know if it's helpful. I believe it is, and that's all that matters. It's what we believe as the person who imagines and as the person who's using the visualization. Another thing I put into practice recently, and we learned this from Tony Robbins, is something he calls priming. First, it's changing your physiology through movement. But the other thing that he teaches to incorporate is visualizing moments in your past when you felt grateful or you were proud of yourself. And again, bringing the feeling into it. What did you feel like in those moments? And it gets you into a different state that's going to allow you to achieve things you want in your life. So by changing your physiology, by changing your state of remembering moments in your past when you were grateful, he then has you visualize something that you want to accomplish in the future. Visualize yourself reaching that goal. What would it feel like? And being in that good state is going to help you to achieve something in the future. We also use imagination when we tell stories, but also when we hear stories. I don't know if you've ever been to a presentation, a professional presentation. We're giving you all sorts of facts and whatever else that you're there for. I've forgotten a lot of that information, but I will always remember a good story that someone tells at a presentation. It impacts the subconscious, and you remember stories much more than you will other things. Also, in reading books, you use your imagination through the words of what the person, the author, is trying to describe. Athletes use visualization to get the outcome that they want. I've seen watching ski racers before a great slalom race. You can see them with their eyes closed, visualizing the course, and I'm sure they're also feeling what it feels like in the body to make those turns. So it's a very, very powerful tool for athletes. I once heard a story about a prisoner of war. He loved golf and he loved this particular course that he used to play. And every day during captivity, he closed his eyes and he visualized himself playing a round of golf on that golf course from hole to hole. I don't remember how long he was a prisoner of war, but what I do remember is that when he got out, when he was released, he played a round of golf on that course and shot his best score just through his visualization, just through his imagining. And I'm sure he also, it's important to bring the feeling of the five senses. You probably smell the fresh cut grass and the feel of the sun on his skin. So that's another component, bringing in the five senses. So what are the benefits of using your imagination and visualization? It reduces stress and anxiety. Something I've used when I was in the counseling profession and also in my yoga teaching was something called guided imagery, where I would bring someone through a visual scenario. For instance, it might be lying on a beach, hearing the waves, again, bringing those five senses, hearing the waves, maybe the birds flying, the seagulls calling, the feel of the breeze on your skin, the feel of the sun beating down on your body, the smell of the salt air. Helps the body to relax, decreases blood pressure, decreases the heart rate. Imagination, using imagination and visualization also improves your concentration and focus. Also increases your productivity. Another way you can use your imagination and visualization, something you've probably heard of, a vision board or a dream board, where you're cutting out pictures from a magazine or things that you download from the computer and you put them on a board. And you look at those images and of the things that you want, and you imagine that you have them, and you also feel what it would be like to have them. Another important tool to use. So now you know the importance and the power of visualization and imagination for improved health, decreasing stress and anxiety, and to achieve and create the things that you want in your life. So go back to the days of your childhood and start daydreaming, start imagining, and start visualizing. Hope this was helpful. If it was, please drop a like below. And until you see me again, be well. Take care. Bye-bye.